Hi, Stephanie. How you doing?
Nicole, I'm doing great. Thank you. Thanks for this time today.
Oh, you're welcome. I just wanted to do kind of a quick check-in with you, something to share with our parents about, what is it, what's happening these first few weeks? Can you kind of give us some insight of what's been going on?
Yeah, you bet. Thank you. So it's exciting. I think we realized that we're in week 3 now, I believe. Yeah, and so kind of to give some background on what's been going on as far as the teacher support. Teachers have been going through some different lessons and some sessions regarding best practices for online learning. We ourselves in the school use Canvas, even for supporting with our teachers and education with our teachers. So our teachers are going through some modules on best practices for online learning. And our teachers right now are really trying to navigate what does it look like to be teaching virtually while you're also teaching those students that are actually in front of you in the classroom. And they've been trying to juggle, okay, how do I meet those needs of these different types of learners? And that's been a pretty significant learning curve, I would say, for all of us. Our grade level teams are meeting regularly to discuss what's working, maybe what's not working. At the secondary level, our departments have been meeting. Dr. Johnson has been meeting with all of them, and I have been meeting with them. Our ADs have been meeting with them, and just reviewing how are we maintaining consistency for all our learners and also for our parents, and then what do we need to adjust? We've been throwing around that word pivot, so we say, how do we need to pivot? Yesterday, we were actually just meeting with the elementary school teachers and asking them how might we pivot to best meet the needs of our teachers, our elementary school students, and our parents. So that's some of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so much. And I wanted to just touch on something that you said earlier, which was, they're still trying to figure it out. I know we covered so much during our professional development, but I mean, could you validate that it's one thing when you're doing it in professional development and another thing when you're actually live and trying to figure it out, right?
Yes, definitely. And our teachers had so much to learn within such a short period of time. And I imagine many of our parents have probably seen these different memes or comments that have been out there on social media, that the reality is for many of our teachers who are maybe in their 15th, 19th year of teaching, this is like their first year of teaching all over again. This is a new process. We're all learning together. And I think that's what's really important, is that the teachers, the students, and the parents, we are all in this. This is the first time we've all experienced this. Something I'll kind of touch on, because I think that your question led me to consider something here, is that we can look online or we can listen to sessions about what hybrid learning should look like, but once we're actually in the classroom and we're trying to navigate it, it's a different reality. And I reflect upon when I was presenting our professional development, which we did virtually. And I was fortunate, I had some team members that were helping me out. And so we did this on Zoom. And I'm just imagine, I mean, you're on Zoom right now, so you can do this, but you have your slide deck in front of you. And for those of you that haven't used Zoom, so you have your slide deck in front of you of what you're presenting, but then you also have a waiting room where people are jumping in and you have to admit them into the waiting room. And then below that, you have a chat and you have to monitor the chat that's going on at the same time. And then you also are teachers. I'm going to pretend I have a classroom behind me. So I'm navigating this, I'm navigating my waiting room, I'm navigating my chat, and I'm navigating my students behind me, while I might also be navigating some emails that are coming in at the same time. So as far as multitasking, oh my goodness, our teachers have been definitely been pushed to the limit as far as multitasking. And their greatest desire is to make sure that they're providing the best form of education and the best experience for all of their students. And when I make that hand motion, I mean the ones that hear on the screen and the ones that are with them in the classroom. But it is a lot for them to do at once, which is why one of the things that we were hearing from our teachers is they wanted to make sure that parents knew and students knew is that they have a desire to respond to parent questions and student questions, but please know, as I just described, it's a lot for them to navigate within one class period. So their responses, typically are going to come probably at the end of the day because they're not able to answer everybody's email at once, if that makes sense. So.
It does, and it's really important to kind of see that other side, because I know I don't always see it. I've I'm not managing a class, and so once it's kind of put into that context, then it helps me to understand, okay, how can I help support? How can I be there to answer questions? And I know that our team, our support team, is working really hard to kind of address some of those concerns. Some of them are a little bit quicker to, get in motion, and others take a little bit longer because they require a few more steps that we still need to think through on what the best practices are, and then what the rollout looks like. So, the patience that teachers have is really amazing, and I can only imagine the patience that our families have and need to have every single day. And so, I thank you for sharing that, and I hope that our families can know that we are listening to them and hearing them, and we're trying to do what we can to help them through this. And so, that brings me to kind of my last question that I had for you, which was, what are some of those areas that we're still working on improving as we keep going, into next week and the week after?
Yeah, great. Thank you. So in case so parents know we have a staff feedback team at our school, and they survey our staff and we get feedback from them. And then we're able to make the adjustments based upon that feedback. And some of the feedback that they've given to us, we're doing our best to respond to. And it's also the feedback that you get on that feedback form, which is very helpful from parents. And one of the things that we've been hearing a lot is about attendance. And so we are still working with the elementary school teachers and with the secondary teachers in order to figure out what's the best way to take attendance, because I know it's stressful for parents, it's stressful for students, and it's stressful for teachers. So please know that we know that, and we're taking a look at it, and we're trying to figure out what is the best way to take attendance to meet everyone's needs. Another thing that I think I want all of our families to know, the heart of our teachers, because this is something that came back in the staff feedback, is that our teachers are at STEM because they love the STEM infused problem-based learning. They love it, and they want to be able to create these engaging lessons for students that we use the word differentiated. So it means that there are lessons that are for every type of learner, regardless of what level you are. And they really wanted me to communicate that that desire is still there, but please be patient with them. As I said, they're navigating this new hybrid world. Their desire is there to provide that, and they're moving in that direction. So they asked for patience and grace as they're moving forward in that. Let's see, the other thing that they were talking about is the emails. They wanted to make sure families knew that they were going to do their best to respond to those emails, but during class, it's very challenging for them to be able to do that. But on the flip side, I know, because I've taken some phone calls, how stressful it is as a parent or student when you can't get into your class. I get that. I know that, and know that we're here to help you, because I can get on a Canvas calendar and I can see, and I can help out a parent. I get that. I totally get that. So I think the big thing is patience and grace for all of us as we're moving forward. Yeah.
And I had heard that some of our instructional assistants would, in the elementary, are going to get some additional training so that they can be some more of a support for our teachers.
Yeah, thank
Virtual
you.
side. Can you
Thanks for
talk about that
reminding
a
me
little
of
bit?
that. Yes.
Okay.
Friday, September 18th is our next professional development day, and we're going to spend some time in the afternoon for the elementary school teachers and the IAs to have that time of collaboration where the elementary school teachers can support and train the IAs so that they can be a support for the parents and using Canvas and Zoom and Google Classroom. And that came from the elementary school teachers' suggestion that they wanted some additional support. And then also from some of the feedback that we've received from parents that this is a struggle. And, you know, word or a phrase that we're using a lot is this idea of cognitive overload. We do not want to have a significant cognitive load on our parents, on our students, or on our teachers. So if we can address that cognitive load by providing some additional support from the IAs, then hopefully we'll be able to reduce that stress and anxiety. So yes, we will be doing that.
I always love it when we receive feedback that we are able to actually put into motion, and then be able to share that with our families. You know, sometimes the feedback is not something that we can always, when we've accomplished it, it's not always something that we can share. But this is one that I know has been an ask of a lot of families on the elementary side, saying, I need some more help, and the teacher wants to help. And so I like the fact that, you know, this is happening behind the scenes and that we're going to be able to roll this out, you know. And another one is updates to the attendance. We've heard the families talk about the attendance correction form needs to be editable. We've done that. So that's now up on our website. So, you know, the feedback form is always great to submit areas on where we can improve. It's could be something that, you know, maybe we're not focusing on. And so you're going to bring that to our attention. Or it could be something that you're just validating that we're already working on it behind the scenes. And, you know, as always, our families can email any questions using that communications pathways document. I think, you know, when that's used in the manner in which it's intended, which is, you know, follow what that process is for that particular line, you know, it can be really helpful to families and it points them in the right direction. That way, you know, they don't feel like they get lost and don't know who to communicate with. So anyways, that was my little tangent there, but
no, I agree. I mean, we are a collaborative community, and we want to respond to our parents, we want to respond to our students, and we respond to our teachers. I think we've all realized, unfortunately, there is not one easy fix. We would all love to have one easy fix. And the message, I think, that we just has to resonate at this time is grace and patience with each other as we walk through. And we all want the best for each person that is in our community. So
yeah, I agree. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Have a great rest of your day.
thank you, Nicole. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.